Sylvester Smith here with Kwame Jackson. We all know him from The Apprentice. Kwame, I want to thank you for joining us here at Inc. Magazine here online, and welcome to Little Rock.
Thank you very much. This is my very first time in Little Rock. I've been traveling the world for the last 5 years speaking and trying to, start up my businesses, and been to many cities but have not been to Little Rock. So it's my first time and I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you in the great state of Arkansas. We're going to treat you right. Now, tell me, we all know you from The Apprentice. Okay. Mm-hmm. First off, tell me what led you to being on The Apprentice. Tell me how that worked.
I was working at Goldman Sachs on Wall Street in 2003. Mm-hmm. Very difficult time. It was the end of the dot-com recession post 9/11. I was doing wealth management for high net worth individuals. And, you come to Wall Street to make a bunch of money and go home. And there was no money to be made on Wall Street at the time. And so had a pretty decent business of clients, but, was looking at other things and was just a little discouraged. And, one of my frat brothers sent an email about this, concept show that they were putting together with NBC and Donald Trump, and, thought that it would be a good platform to brand ourselves as entrepreneurs. And that's how we put our name in the hat. And then, the show became this phenomenon from there. It's in, over 30 countries.
Wow.
Hundreds of millions of people have seen it. And so, people are still reporting on The Apprentice season 1 6 years later. Right? Keep it moving. Well, now, it's all good.
Now, did you have to go in the interview? Do you have to audition? Because
yes and no. There is a typical audition and interview process, but we didn't go that route because remember when I did The Apprentice, it was a concept. Mm-hmm. It wasn't 8th season or 9th season American Idol. It was a concept. And so my fraternity brother, he actually just called the director's office in LA cold and was like, I heard about this new show. My buddy and I are qualified in Harvard MBA, Wharton MBA, and you probably don't have a whole lot of people like us applying. And he said, you're right. And so we went in and we had this great meeting with him and talked about the one black guy reality TV rule and as a little icebreaker, and of course they only pick one black guy, which is me. My other frat brother's black as well. And so it was a good experience, man. It was a good experience.
Well, I'm so glad you had it, and you were an inspiration to a lot of us. Now, what was it like meeting Donald Trump?
Definitely interesting experience. It's been a while, but it's one of those things where I was in the private wealth management business, so we met a lot of icons and very wealthy individuals and people with more money than Donald Trump. Maybe not as much notoriety, but definitely more money. And so I was used to being in those types of environments and interacting with those individuals. And so he was pretty much a straight shooter, but don't get the program twisted. It's still his show and his world, and you just kind of figure out where you fit in the food chain and go from there. And so we've always had an up and up relationship, so I don't have any issues with the man.
So do you still have a relationship with him?
I do. I mean, I'm not, calling him every day or anything like that, but, he does pick up the phone. I see him at events, and I interviewed him for a book that I have coming out called Stay Hungry, where I interview like 20 global business leaders, folks like LeBron James and CEO of McDonald's and the dean of Harvard Law School, and talk about perseverance in business. And so Donald Trump was one of the folks I interviewed about 1.5 years ago. So still compiling all that, and we're working on a publishing deal to get that story out there.
We'll be looking forward to that. Now, I know you're in town meeting with some people about the project you're working on now.
Meeting with Dillard's.
And we are big fans of Dillard's.
Go.
We support them, and we're going to hope that they support you. So tell us about the line.
Little Rock and Dillard's support me. We need you, and I need you, and we all need each other. The line is called Crimson by Kwame. I'm not wearing a tie now because I was ambushed, so I didn't know I was supposed to be prepared. I just got off a plane. But the line is called Crimson by Kwame. We started it back in 2004, and it's basically a representation of Generation X professional excellence. That's what the brand is about. It's not your grandfather's tie. It's not a stodgy brand that our generation, who's well traveled and well educated, would feel uncomfortable with. It's a brand that shows a degree of personal style and personal elegance within the confines of a corporate community on a global level. So it's a brand for everybody. It's not urban wear. It's not for strictly young professionals. It's really for folks who are trying to make it happen. Mm-hmm. So our motto is, when it's important, it's crimson. So you put on a crimson tie when you're trying to close that big deal, or propose to your girlfriend, or important dates and events in your life. And the ties are the first product for a broader luxury lifestyle apparel brand that will include pocket squares, fragrance, cufflinks, and broader men's apparel as we grow. So we're very excited. We're in about 20 markets now nationally with Macy's and Belk department stores, and hopefully an additional 20 or 30 with Dillard's.
All right.
So we're happy to be here in Little Rock, and hopefully we'll kick 2010 off right with a new sale and a new client and a new relationship, and prosperity and happiness.
Well, we're gonna hope that 2010 is a very prosperous year for you, and that you close that big deal tomorrow.
I have my crimson tile, so when it's important, it's crimson. So 2010 is the year to win.
All right. Now, if you'd like to get a Crimson by Kwame tie, please read the story on Ink Magazine and click the link at the end of the story. We're going to direct connect to his website to get you those ties. Thanks so much, Kwame.
Thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate Little Rock's hospitality, and I appreciate the support for our line.
All right.